They buried it. They silenced it. But it wasn't lost. The teachings of Jesus that could unlock the mystery of who you truly are, why you are here, and what comes after this life were not fully written down. But there are traces of them, hidden in plain sight. And what was hidden wasn't merely inconvenient, it was so powerful that it had to be removed entirely. In ancient times, the concept of reincarnation was not an outlier or foreign idea. In fact, it was embedded in the spiritual framework of countless cultures, from the Hindus and Buddhists to the ancient Greeks. Even early Christians understood the soul's journey as one that could span multiple lifetimes. But somewhere along the way, these profound teachings about the continuity of life, life beyond death, vanished from the sacred texts.
Why?
What was so dangerous about the idea that you could be reborn, again and again, until your soul reaches its ultimate transformation? Why was the concept of reincarnation not just ignored, but actively removed from Christian doctrine, despite its clear presence in the earliest gospel texts? Let's delve into the truth that has been buried in the shadows of history, the truth that lies hidden in the secret teachings of Jesus, and what this revelation can mean for you today. Before we continue on this journey, I urge you to take a moment and reflect. What if the spiritual journey that you've always known was incomplete? What if reincarnation was never meant to be erased? Subscribe now, and stay with me as we unearth these long-lost truths that will challenge everything you thought you knew about your soul's path. You are about to step into a world where history has been rewritten. The Bible, as you know it, is not the whole story. The pieces that were intentionally removed are key to unlocking the mysteries of your existence. Many scholars agree that early Christianity was far more open to the concept of reincarnation than most people realize. The Church Fathers, those who shaped the early Christian doctrine, knew about the idea of reincarnation, and some even spoke of it. However, this acceptance was short-lived, for reasons that are far from spiritual. It is believed that, around 553 AD, during the Second Council of Constantinople, the concept of reincarnation was officially condemned. The question must be asked, why did the leaders of the early church feel the need to suppress such a powerful idea? Could it be that the idea of reincarnation, if fully embraced, would have led people to think beyond the fear of death, and perhaps awaken to a deeper truth about the soul's eternal nature? When we look closely at the writings of the early Christians, we begin to see glimpses of reincarnation. In the Gospel of Matthew, when Jesus' disciples ask, "Who is this man, Elijah or another prophet?" Jesus responds by saying, "Indeed, Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him." This refers to the concept that Elijah was reincarnated as John the Baptist, and it was an acknowledgement of the continuity of the soul through multiple lifetimes. This acknowledgement wasn't just a random mention, it was a profound truth about the nature of the soul. But the Church, determined to shape a narrative that emphasized salvation through faith and the afterlife, had to remove any trace of reincarnation from its teachings. For what would happen if people were to believe that their souls could live many lives, and that each life could serve as an opportunity for spiritual growth? It would undermine the authority of religious dogma and give individuals a direct, personal path to spiritual liberation. But what if you've already lived before? And what if, as Jesus hinted, the key to understanding your life now lies in understanding the lives you've already lived? Jesus, the mystic and spiritual teacher, was well aware of the true nature of the soul. He spoke of love, forgiveness, and transformation, yet there are hidden layers of his teachings that have been overlooked by mainstream Christianity. One of the most profound mysteries was his understanding of the soul's journey through many lifetimes. The Gospel of Thomas, a text that was excluded from the canonical Bible, contains a passage that suggests the existence of past lives. When you make the two one, and when you make the inside like the outside and the outside like the inside, and the above like the below, and when you make the male and the female into a single one, so that the male will not be male and the female will not be female, then you will enter the kingdom of heaven. What does this cryptic saying mean? It speaks of the union of opposites, of the soul's journey through multiple forms and experiences to finally reach the ultimate realization, oneness with the divine. This, perhaps, is a key teaching of reincarnation. The soul must go through many lifetimes, experiencing dualities, learning lessons, and transcending its limitations, before it can return to its true nature. Jesus was not only a teacher of salvation but also a guide for the soul's evolution. His teachings on reincarnation were not just about the afterlife, they were about the continuity of the soul's journey. Every life, every experience, was a step in the soul's awakening. And this journey, filled with trials and teachings, was the path to salvation, not a single one-time judgment after death, but a continuous process of purification and enlightenment. But if this was the message of Christ, why was it buried? The answer lies in the power structures of the Church that feared the autonomy that such teachings would bring. Reincarnation promised a direct and personal connection to the divine, and the Church, instead, wanted to focus on eternal salvation as a one-time event, something controlled by its authority. What if you could tap into the hidden wisdom Jesus once shared? What if understanding the cycles of your soul's journey could transform your life now? Now, imagine for a moment that your soul has lived before. The concept of karma, intertwined with reincarnation, speaks of how actions from past lives shape who you are today. The law of karma dictates that everything you do, every choice, every action, creates a ripple that stretches across your lifetimes. If you carry the lessons of past lives, what do you think your soul has learned? Is it possible that the challenges, relationships, and patterns you face today are a result of actions from a time before this one? This is the law of karma, actions creating consequences that span beyond the current life. Jesus taught forgiveness, but did he also understand that some souls would need multiple lifetimes to heal, to learn, and to grow? Could it be that his message was not just about forgiving others in this lifetime, but about understanding the deeper threads of karma that connect you to everyone around you? The soul, once trapped in the illusion of material existence, must move through many cycles to understand the true meaning of love, compassion, and wisdom. The idea that your soul is eternal, living out countless lives across time and space, makes the concept of salvation even more powerful. It means that you are not merely waiting for an afterlife, you are on a continual journey of evolution. You have the power to transform, to heal, to ascend to higher states of consciousness. Imagine the freedom that comes with understanding that your life now is not the only one that matters. What if your soul, in its endless journey, is learning lessons from countless lives before, and those lessons are written within you? Now that the veil is being lifted, it's time for you to see the truth of who you are. Reincarnation was never a myth or a fabrication. It was a truth kept hidden to control and confine. But you, as a spiritual seeker, have the power to break free from this veil. You can reclaim the wisdom that was once lost, and let it guide your journey forward. If Jesus truly understood the cycle of reincarnation, then his teachings were more profound than you could ever imagine. You are not just living one life. You are a soul on a grand, eternal journey of evolution, each life serving as a stepping stone to enlightenment. Reclaim this truth. Reflect on your past lives. Discover the patterns that repeat in your life today. And most importantly, embrace the eternal truth that your soul is infinite, always growing, always seeking, always returning to the source of divine love. Your journey doesn't end with this life. It never has. The soul's path continues, spiraling ever upward toward greater wisdom and higher consciousness. This is your invitation. The truth is calling you. If this resonated with you, if you feel awakened to the hidden layers of your existence, subscribe to this channel. Share this message with others who are ready to see beyond the illusion. Together, we can uncover more of the divine mysteries that have been hidden for too long. Step into the eternal truth of your soul and embark on the journey of awakening today.